Hi everyone, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon at whatever time you're watching this video. Today we are gonna do the lesson reading of air from science textbook, 4th standard ICSE syllabus. So what we are going to learn here is air and its uses, properties of air, composition of air, breathing and burning, air pollution. Learning outcome would give reasons why air is important for living beings. Uh, Kids would be able to demonstrate some properties of air through simple experiments like weight, space, expansion, and air being colorless. You'll also be able to demonstrate the process of inhalation and exhalation of air. We will discuss the causes of air pollution in environment and its surroundings, environment or surroundings, suggest ways or remedies to reduce air pollution in environment, show concerns about environmental activities which causes air pollution. Now, when we blow air, right, air, the moving air comes out of our mouth. We cannot see air, but we can feel when it moves. Air is all around us. Now, let's go ahead and discuss the properties, composition, and its uses. Guys, as you can see in this picture, right, the person in the first picture is looking to blow the candle, and yeah, eventually it will be like there won't be any light. The air would have blown the candle off. And the girl in the second picture who is holding snow in her hand, when she blows the air, it's just uh, the snow from her hand flies away. And in the third picture, you can see that the bubble mixture, which is the favorite among all the kids. So what is she doing is she is just blowing the air through that holder, whatever she is holding, and it comes out in forms of bubble. So all these three pictures, right? It is air, which is coming out of the mouth, is doing the action. Now, we all know that matter exists in three states: solid, liquid, and gases. And air is an example of gaseous state of matter. Now, just don't look at this smoke coming out of factory and think that is air. No, whatever is around us, there is air around us, right? We don't live in vacuum. There is air around us, yeah. And sound actually travels through air, correct? So air is a good medium of sound, which you guys will be studying in later classes. Yeah. So air is an example of gaseous state of matter, and all living things need air to live and survive. We cannot see, we can neither touch nor we can taste air, correct? But we can always feel it. You can see this guy in front of a coffee mug. He's feeling the aroma of coffee. Now, how is it feeling? He's feeling it through his nose. Now, is he pouring the coffee in his nose? No. He feels the smell which is coming out of the coffee mug, and it travels through air. All right? And the blanket of the air which surrounds our earth is called atmosphere. the air found in atmosphere is a mixture of gases that contains carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, and other gases. So, guys, air found in the atmosphere is a mixture of gases that contains carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, and other gases. All right? And the blanket of air that surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. Please remember these. Okay, so what are the uses of air? We know that we use air in many ways. One is all living things need air to breathe. Yeah, just like this cat. Yeah. It is necessary for burning. Without air, there won't be any fire. There will be fire, but it won't burn for long. Yeah. It helps in drying things. So you guys would have seen, right? These days it's raining heavily in Bangalore. Yeah. So if at all we put out our clothes directly out of washing machine, yeah, washing machine does do dry those clothes, but we have to put out in sun, right? It's still that not that dry so that we can wear. Now, since sun is not coming out, we still do put out in the balcony, and because of air, it gets dry. All right, so it helps in drying things, and it helps bird to fly. It's not like air is pushing them to fly, but in air they can fly, right? And no bird can fly against the wind. It goes with the wind. Yeah. It helps to move the sailboat on water. What are these sailboats? All these pirates movie you would have seen, right? All of a sudden they just lower their flag and they show that pirate faces. Yeah, those are sailboats. So with air, with the speed or with the direction of air, these sailboats, they turn their sails around. These curtains are called sails. That's what one of the kids told in my class. Even I never knew about that. So those sails, and they use the direction of wind and air to maneuver in sea. And it rotates the blade of the windmill. Now windmills have been there from more than a century now, or more than that. I'm not sure on that. Yeah, because there have been usage of windmills through draw water from wells, right? And now we are producing a lot of these renewable energy sources. So how does these windmills run? They run because of air, correct? So one of the popular destination for windmills in India is that Coimbatore region, right? Where the air pressure is really high because of the split in the Vindhya and Sahyadri mountains, right? So there's a small gap there where the wind actually gushes. So having windmill there, there are a lot of windmill farms. If at all you go to that area, you can watch, you can see them. Yeah. And air is used in inflating tires of vehicles, be it your electric vehicle, be it your aeroplanes or anything, right? You still need tires. There is no technology which at least till date has replaced these tires. 100-year-old Ford car, when they started the T model, they had tires. To the Tesla, they also have these tires, which has to be filled with air to inflate them. All right. Now let's look at properties of air one by one. Air occupies space. Now, what do you mean by this, guys? When we say air occupies space, right? We all know that air has mass and it occupies space. You guys all celebrate your birthday parties at home, right? And the first thing we parents do is get all those fancy balloons and start filling air in that. Now, when we start blowing air in the balloon, where does the air go? It's not going out. It is filling inside the balloon. It gets filled inside the balloon. That shows air occupies whatever space it can fill in. Correct? and not only balloons, the tires, the football, the mattresses, yeah. So there have been, and pillow, right? If at all you haven't seen a mattress, you would have always seen that pillow which can be filled with air and can be used. And when you're not using, you can just take out that, deflate it, roll it, and keep it in a bag. So these air-filled pillows were very popular when I was a kid. All those grandfathers and grannies used to travel in train, and they used to carry with them this air-filled pillows. And forget about they blowing air; they would have taken off itself if they tried to fill air with with their age in these pillows. We had to fill air in these pillows and give it to them. Okay, granny, grandpa, have a nice sleep in train. Yeah. Now, guys, air moves, right? Now, apart from air occupies space, the second one is air moves. You all seen these ads, the deodorant ad when someone just sprays those deodorants across him, yeah. So the fragrance keeps coming wherever he passes. Correct. What it says is, it spreads out, and the guy who is next to you can smell it. Now, how it happens? Because air moves. That's one of the property, yeah. And moving air is called wind. Strong wind causes storm like this, what you see in this picture. Okay. Next three properties are more to do with air has weight, it is colorless, and it expands, right? Just do an experiment. Take two footballs. I couldn't get the right picture for this, so I don't have the picture, but just try to understand this. Take two footballs, deflate one football, and put air in, fill air in another football. Keep the one with air on the left hand, one with the air on the right hand. You can see the difference in the weight in these two footballs, yeah, which just shows air has weight. Next property is air is colorless. It's just universally proven. Can you see color in the air? In America, air is white color. In Japan, air is green color. No. Across the world, air is only one color, which is no color. Alright? And air expands. Air expands on heating. So what happens, right? The hot air molecules need more space. They become less dense and lighter in weight when compared to cold air. So, less dense, lighter in weight, and it expands in the given space. Okay. Now, what are the composition of air? Yeah, we all know that we have been talking, right? Air is a mixture of gases, and the two main constituents of air are nitrogen and oxygen. And so, air is a mixture of gases, and two main composition of air are nitrogen and oxygen. Apart from these, air also has a small quantity of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases. Alright, they have given a very good picture of these in your book. Kindly refer the same. This is a picture which I picked up from internet, which just shows the combination of air and other gases. So yeah, it's just for our reference. Okay. And we also know that, oh sorry, what happened? Yeah, we also know that the atmosphere has several layers, and the layers are dense near the Earth's surface, and the envelope of air becomes thinner and thinner as one climbs up the atmosphere. Now, when you are traveling on an aeroplane, yeah, as soon as it reaches 40,000 feet, or it just takes off, right? What they do is they keep the air circulation really good, so that you get ample of amount of air inside the plane because you can't open the windows. Correct? What happens if you open the windows? That's it. You'll open up. Yeah. So that's one thing. Now we all seen in few Hollywood movies, right? As soon as it hits a turbulence or it goes beyond someone's control, first thing comes up is your oxygen mask. Why? Because the air pressure would have gone down. Yeah. So as you go higher and higher, the air becomes thinner on the surface. On the surface of the earth is what? Where we stand, where we live. Not on 25th floor, 30th floor. Till then, yeah, it's good. Go to Everest, you need something like this. Oh my God, what is that? Yeah, something like this, an oxygen cylinder. Yeah. So this is very popular, which every mountaineers do carry oxygen cylinder for them to breathe easily. Now, don't try to carry this oxygen cylinder when you visit Nandi Hills or Chamundi Hills. Monkeys will start chasing you. Now, yeah, guys, we have now learned the composition of air, the properties of air. We will move to breathing and burning. Now, what do you mean by breathing? Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Yeah, every exercise does teach us, starting from yoga to your gym to your running to your swimming. Breathing is very important. Now, what do you breathe? We all breathe air. Now, what in air we breathe? We breathe oxygen rich air. Correct? It's not like we go in search of, oh, there is an oxygen near this tree, I will breathe only this. No. Whenever we breathe, our system is designed in such a way that it takes oxygen, it inhales oxygen and leaves out carbon dioxide. Alright? So, there's a process of breathing, right? But we wouldn't know, we just, right from the birth, we have been breathing. So, if at all someone says, what is the process of breathing? Oh, wouldn't mind. I just breathe and breathe in and breathe out. But what happens is, when we inhale when we inhale, the oxygen rich air reaches our lungs through our nose, the nostrils. From lungs, so these two things which you can see right on the right hand side picture, they are called lungs. Yeah. From lungs, blood takes oxygen rich air and carries it to all parts of the body, because blood is available in all the parts of the body, right? Whether you cut your leg or you cut your forehead. Now, don't try to do that. Yeah. So, but blood is available everywhere. Correct? So, blood takes oxygen rich air to all parts of the body, and oxygen is this oxygen is used to burn the food components. Okay? When you burn food components, right, two things gets released. One is energy, second is carbon dioxide. And the carbon dioxide is again carried back to lungs by blood, from where it is released from the body when we exhale. So, thus the exhaled air contains more of carbon dioxide. So guys, let me tell this once again. You breathe in, the oxygen rich air gets through your nostrils and it goes through your lungs. From lungs, the blood takes this oxygen rich air to all parts of this body. And two things happens inside our body when this oxygen rich air moves around. First is it helps to burn the food component. So when the burning of food component happens, it releases energy and it releases carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is again carried back to lungs, from where it goes out of the body when we exhale. Okay? Thus, the exhaled air contains more of carbon dioxide. You may think that, okay, oh God, so much? No, just read once or twice. You guys will understand. Now, apart from breathing, right, there's something called a process of burning. Now, what it says is, it clearly defines oxygen present in air is required for anything to burn. Right now you see this experiment, and I've been doing this experiment when I was of your age. Yeah, you see this, I lit a candle and it's burning. Now what I do is I just put the same glass on this candle. It was burning for a while before I took this photo. Now since there is a cutoff of oxygen, it stops burning. Right? So what it means? Air is necessary for the process of burning. Okay, it's a very simple experiment and anyone and everyone can understand. Okay. Now, what is air pollution? Boys, again I'll tell you, I've been reading this right from your age, and maybe my dad was also reading this. I'm not sure whether he would have read this, but yeah, we have been talking about this air pollution for long now, but I'm not sure when or if at all we find a solution to minimize air pollution. Yeah. So first let's understand what is air pollution. Yeah. So there are many unwanted and harmful substances that make our air unfit for breathing. Correct? So they are called pollutants. So what are pollutants? The unwanted and harmful substances that make air unfit for breathing are called pollutants. And mixing of pollutants in air is called air pollution. Pollutants, mixing of pollutants in air is called air pollution. And there are few causes which are listed below. The first one is dust and smoke from vehicle and construction site. Now guys, vehicle, the smoke coming out of vehicle, right, is the major cause of air pollution. Please, please, please use public transport as much as possible. Now you may all argue saying that bus causes more pollution, right? But guys, whether you are there or not, bus is traveling. Now with you, there are hundreds of them who are traveling at the same time. Imagine all those 100 come out with their own car. What's going to happen? Right? So wherever, whenever possible, try to use the public transport. Okay? Yeah, that's the construction side. Oh, I need to break this building and build a new one. Yes, but how? At cost of what? You guys are causing a lot of pollution. And smoke coming from factories and industry. Yeah. Something is burning inside and it has to be released, right, in factories and industry. That comes out of smoke, and yeah, they are not they are very harmful substances. Yeah. And smoke and ash from forest fires and volcanic eruption. Now this is something, volcanic eruption is something which we cannot avoid, right? But forest fire, it's a natural phenomenon, but there are causes for it also. The sometimes what they say is forest fire happens because of lot of heat generated in the atmosphere, but it has been happening, right? It has been happening. It's not like it just started in last 30-40 years. Correct? Something unavoidable, but if there is a way to avoid that, nothing like that. And burning of wood, coal and plastic. Yeah, plastic, burning of plastic is a major cause of air pollution, guys. You know what? Anything can be burned, but for plastic, it takes a lot of fire to go in, and the smoke it releases right after burning plastic, it's really yuck. Busting of crackers come Deepavali. We have to burst that 1000, 10,000 wala, all those rockets, yeah. And Delhi, you guys can also understand, right? Delhi air quality is still unfit for people to breathe. Now, don't tell me that, okay, I'm against Deepavali. Even I fire a lot of crackers on Deepavali, but yeah, this is also one of the causes of air pollution, which science has identified, not me and you. Yeah. Open garbage dumping. Oh my God, I have a garbage at my home. The garbage truck didn't come. What I'll do? I'll go and dump it on the roadside, the corner of my house or the corner of the road. Yeah. So instead of that, dump it in a place where it can be taken care of, it can be recycled, or it can be um, taken care in a more scientific way. Yeah, government does provide all those garbage truck and places to dump those garbages, right? Please make use of it. And spitting, that is the favorite pastime of Indians. Zuba Pep Kesari, and all walls on streets are all what? Red on red, is it? Yeah. So, spitting, guys, recently we came out of this pandemic, which was caused because of our cough, sneeze, and spit. So, please avoid spitting. Even chewing gum, you keep on chewing those gum, but how do you dispose? And that's also one of the cause of pollution. You put it somewhere, and a lot of those germs come and sit on that, and it causes a lot of diseases. So be careful with what you eat and what you consume. Right? So we have been talking about air pollution, right? But what is the way to prevent that? Is there anything we can do, or we have to live with it? So one way of prevention is, see, we all know that air is something very important, correct? And we are dependent on air around us itself. We can't every time go to a hill station to breathe air. No. We live in a society where we live in cities, we live in villages, we live next to industries, we live in near IT parks, yeah. We work in IT parks, we go to school in cities, and we have to breathe air which is around us. We can't be choosy about it. And without breathing, we can't stay alive. Now, if we breathe polluted air, we may suffer from allergies, headache, and other diseases relating to respiratory system. Right? Recently, we had this COVID-19, COVID-20, whatever came. It just took tons of people, and I'm not sure whether it's out, but yeah, the rate has actually come down. But still, governments do keep telling, right, reporting, right, there has been case of COVID in my country, or in this city, or in this locality. So be careful with that. So some of the ways to prevent air pollution and make our environment clean are using smokeless chulhas, solar cooker, LPG, biogas instead of fossil fuel for cooking. Yeah. What do you mean by fossil fuel? Burning of wood. Yeah. So please don't do that. Or kerosene stove. Please don't do that. Use this smokeless chulha, solar cooker, and LPG, and also biogas. Yeah. And use CNG instead of diesel and petrol vehicle. Mine is a Ford Mustang 5-liter engine, mom. So what does a 5-liter engine do? It burns more petrol, more fuel, and more fuel burnt. It's like more smoke released to the atmosphere that's just around us, correct? Instead, use CNG gas, which releases less of a smoke, or less of a gas around us. Yeah, less of a smoke in the environment. Yeah. And use unleaded petrol instead of leaded one. These days, I think it's very common. You go to Shell petrol bunk, they call, hey, mom, Shell petrol bunk, sir, power, super, yeah. Just use normal petrol in Shell petrol bunk, that's okay. But everything should be unleaded. Now, plant more trees, right? That's one of the best thing to do. Why you need to plant more trees? Because plants take carbon dioxide during the process of photosynthesis and releases oxygen in air. And plant is a natural purifier of the air. Yeah? So you may be asked a question, which is the natural purifier of the air? It's plants around us. Why? Because they take in carbon dioxide during photosynthesis and releases oxygen in air. There is a tree in front of me, but I don't like this tree because I can't. Lot of leaves fall in my compound and it makes it dirty. Let me cut this tree. Okay. When you cut all the remaining trees on this earth, then you actually run for oxygen. Yeah? So please don't do that. Plant more of trees. Save electricity. Yeah, that's one of the best things to do by turning off computer, turning off your chargers, turning off the electrical appliances. TV, though you're not watching, let's run TV. Why? Yeah, please don't do that. Use public transport as much as possible. That we already smoke. Walk or bicycle whenever it's possible. And do not burn garbage. Do not burn garbage. And switch off the vehicle when there is red signal. Yeah. So those are the best things to do to prevent air pollution. Any questions, any doubts, feel to connect with us, and we'll discuss more on the question and answers in our tuition classes. Thank you.